Hello everyone, this is Talk to Meshif.
Hi, and I'm Axion, and we're going to be casting a 1v1 on Lost Temple between the blue Zerg, the blue Cake, and the teal Zerg, Smartin. And I'd like to give a shout out to the blue Cake because he was the first one to send us a replay. So we're casting that, and just like to say thank you for sending us a replay, and we'll do our best to give you some good advice.
Yeah, definitely thank you very much for that. He wanted us to comment on his play and give him any suggestions or tips or ideas to improve his play. I think he's a Bronze League player right now, and his opponent, who he said was his friend, Smartin, is in the Silver League. So, you know, pretty low-level players right now, but obviously they want to see what they could do better, what they could have done differently in the game to play it better. And a quick note about the audio quality of this game. Axion has a little bit of a head cold, and he's also about 300 miles away from me right now. So we're working on our audio and video problems and technical difficulties here. This should be our first game actually that we're uploading in high definition. So look forward to that. Hopefully that goes fine. And I believe it should, and we should start producing all of our videos in high def. So hopefully you guys can look forward to improved video quality, and you know, the audio quality. We're doing the best we can with our crappy microphones and the distance between us.
Yep, and it looks like we have a pretty standard 14 pool from the blue Cake, as he also has a pretty early scout there in Smartin's base, as Smartin also goes for a 14 pool. It also looks like blue Cake with a 15 or 14 gas, so there's definitely the possibility of seeing 3 quick drones in there and maybe a really quick Zergling speed, which is a pretty popular tactic at the high levels. They'll often put 3 drones in and then get 100 gas for the Zergling speed and take them out and go back to minerals, so we'll just have to see which way he takes it.
Yeah, and you should note that, I'm not sure if you guys saw it in the first few seconds of the game, when Smartin split his drones to mine, he sent 3 down to one of the lower minerals and 3 up to one of the top minerals, but he misclicked, and I think he clicked right in between the mineral patches, and so his first 3 of his first drones were not actually mining for the first 10 or so seconds of the game. So that's just one a little misclick that, you know, you just need to be paying attention to.
Yep, and it looks like Smartin has gone for a pretty fast expand around 14, and we will see if that pays off for him. He's also getting his extractor up, as well as having his other gas stolen by the blue Cake.
Yeah, that's some really good play by the blue Cake. You know, get the drone on the gas and then cancel the extractor because it's so cheap and you don't lose many minerals. And you know, hopefully you're able to you know, build and cancel, build and cancel, build and cancel for quite a long time, so you know, get that scouting information and you keep your drone alive. But he did cancel that and move the drone out, and unfortunately there are 2 Zerglings there to pick it off.
Yep, and now I'd like to know a little bit of a slight mistake by the blue Cake. He did go for Zergling speed, the metabolic boost, but he could have gotten it a lot sooner. I think he chose to get it around 200 gas, and right now his minerals are also at right around 500, so I'd really like to see him get out a Queen, which is almost getting out, as he throws down the Road Warren. And I'd really like to see him throw down an expansion or drone up right now. I think that would really benefit him.
Yeah, this early in the game, when you have that many resources, you know, definitely put them to use. You know, get as much scouting information as you can. You know, if you have to, you know, suicide a Zergling in here to run around and get any scouting information that it can.
Yep, and it looks like he is also going for a relatively quick lair with that extra gas that he had, as both players' Roach Warrens are finishing up, and it looks like Smartin has started metabolic boost as well, so we could be seeing a little bit of early Zergling confrontation.
And we do see the blue Cake do just that. He does send 1 Zergling in here and is able to scout the expansion, so he does know that Smartin is going to be ahead of him economically now that he's running off 2 bases, you know, getting his drones out to start fully saturating that. And at this point, he has over 500 minerals, so he definitely should think about throwing down his own expansion.
Yes, and I actually really like the Evo Chamber going down right now. There's a pretty popular tactic called the +1 attack, where you get your Zerglings out, and then a quick +1 weapons upgrade, which it looks like he is going for.
Yeah,
and it looks like it looks like his Zergling's just chilling out by the watchtower right now. Again, as you pointed out, Meshif, I'd really like to see him expanding with all these excess minerals. He's got over 650.
Yeah, definitely should be throwing down the expansion there, and also just note these 3 overlords right here. Keep them moving around the map. You're not really worried about air or any units that can attack air right now. Roaches or Zerglings are ground only units, so you really can just spread out your overlords. Just watch the map. You don't want to miss a hidden expansion up here, up here. Just really pay attention to what your opponent's doing.
Yep, and it looks like Blue Cake is finally throwing down his expansion. I definitely think that's the correct decision at this point, and getting out 7 roaches.
And as you do know, he does go in for some attacks over here. What do you think about the success of these attacks?
Well, I mean, I definitely think that it's always good to poke into the front of your opponent's face, and it looks like a little misclick from Smartin. He didn't realize that his Zerglings were getting attacked. But I really like what the Blue Cake does here. He just pulls back, and then engages the Zerglings again without Smartin's roaches as backup.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that he, when he first went in, he kind of went in and took a few bites out of the roaches and then backed off and then went back in. And, definitely either go in and, commit yourself to the attack or decide to pull out. It's smart to pull back out and try to lure his army out here where your roaches can start to do some damage. But don't keep, dancing your Zerglings back and forth, allowing the roaches to kind of take free shots at you.
Yep, and it looks like his +1 attack is almost done, as well as he started researching glial reconstitution. So those roaches will be gaining a speed upgrade when that is done in about 2 minutes, which will always help. It looks like he's definitely ahead in upgrades right now, as Smartin has yet to start any sort of upgrade.
Yeah.
Although I should note that he did get the pneumatized carapace, I think it's pronounced, for his overlords to get overlord speed, which is always useful for scouting.
Yep, definitely something that is valuable for getting the information out of the map. But this early in the game, it may have been better used to spend on an upgrade for your unit armor or weapons, perhaps.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and it does look like Smartin is starting Burrow, so we might be seeing the Roach Tunneling Claws come out soon, so they can move while burrowed. I think that would be a really smart choice at the moment, although it looks like it's got a pretty even army right now. The Blue Cake has 2 more roaches, but Smartin does have 15 more Zerglings.
Yeah, I would say that right now, it's pretty close to being even. Smartin did get his expansion earlier, so he's probably a little bit ahead economically. And right now that he's got Blue Cake's got a fairly good contain on Smartin. He's kind of guarding that choke point. He's got the watchtower. It would be something that he could have possibly thought about is throwing down a 3rd expansion, possibly up here by the gold, or farther down here where he's got an overlord right there, and he could start spreading creep around here to get the creep superhighway going right down here into this expansion, and then his units would be able to mobilize very quickly. He could really kind of split the map in half, so he could control all of his expansions.
Yep, I definitely think that pretty soon, if he just did, he will have the resources necessary for 3rd expansion, and he's getting the pneumatized carapace as well to get the upgraded overload speed, as well as Zerg ground carapace level 1. But it looks like this is where they're starting to differ. Smartin has taken a slightly different path, has produced some infestors, and is getting pathogen glands, which will give them that extra energy so they can cast more infested Terran, or a fungal growth right off the bat when they spawn. So I definitely think that that's an advantage to him right now. If he can lock down those Zerglings and Roaches with some fungal growth, that'll do some good extra damage.
Now, if we look at the army size right now, or just really at the supply, Blue Cake is at 84 under 84, and Smartin's at 78 over 76. So, he was paddocked. He just got 2 more overlords out, it looks like. But Blue Cake was a little bit ahead right now, and he splits up his army. I'm not sure why he pushed his army up here, but had he, produced he's got 600 resources, so had he produced a few more units, he could have had a bigger army and tried to end this game right now.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he would have had the forces to end it, but he definitely would have been able to keep Smartin on his toes. As we can see, there's 3 burrowed infestors moving across the map, so that'll be really interesting to see if they pop in by this expansion and toss down some infested Terran. It's a strategy that's pretty popular. It's a good way, if your opponent doesn't have detection, to just get some free drone kills. And I would really also like to see Blue Cake throwing down another expansion right now. I mean, I guess either of them really. Both of their minerals are over 500. I think they could each be expanding one more time.
Yes, definitely, especially Zerg. You know, they're very good at throwing down expansions, spreading, and if you spread the creep, it can be much easier to defend expansions. So when you have that many resources, definitely spend them. And it looks like Blue Cake being caught a little out of position here. He had his army spread out, and Smartin moves out across the map and is able to catch him a little bit out of position.
Yep, it's a pretty close battle right now. I think it looks like Blue Cake might not be able to come out ahead on this one. There's just too many Zerglings still left alive from when his army was split.
Yep.
And it looks like the Roach count is now favoring Smartin.
And he realized that.
And we can also see the Infestors had thrown down some Infestant Terran by the drone line and picked off a bunch of drones.
But good micro by Blue Cake to keep moving back and get those roaches. But now he clearly has roach advantage, so he should definitely not abandon his expansion like that. He's got way more superior numbers. He probably should have tried to get better positioning outside his ramp right here. You know,
yeah,
this position is really bad.
This is not very good positioning at the ramp right now. You're going to want your roaches either overlooking this cliff, so they can have a good concave, or down the ramp like he's starting to do now. I definitely agree with what you said, Mesha. He could have protected that expansion pretty easily, and I definitely think that puts him at a pretty big disadvantage now that it went down.
Yeah, and if you look at the Army tab now, Smartin is at 78 under 92, and the Blue Cake is at 82 under 114. So not only that, but Blue Cake has 1,600 minerals, so he could be cranking out a bunch of Zerglings. You know, if he had kept up that expansion, you know, and had the larvae to do that, he could have cranked out a bunch of Zerglings to complement this Roach army.
Yep, and it looks like Blue Cake is moving in for a counterattack right now. I really think that he might want to back out of this. I mean, he'll be able to kill some Zerglings, he'll be able to kill these roaches, but it's really easy as the defender to enforce, and I think this battle's going to come out pretty even.
Yeah, that was a good idea to back out. You know, it was going to be close with that Spore Caller. You see it has 3 kills. It was able to do a fair amount of damage. And, you know, Smartin, having the defender's advantage, was also going to be able to bring back his reinforcements into battle more quickly than the Blue Cake could do so. So it definitely was wise to pull out.
And it looks like both players have their Hydralisk tens up as wow. Smartin is producing 5 more Infestors, and I mean, I'm really liking his Infestor play so far. It really did a lot of economic damage to the drone line, and it looks like Blue Cake finally has his expansion up again, which is something that he desperately needs right now, because he is definitely behind in economy.
Yeah, and again, we see Blue Cake ending up with over 1,800 resources, but still way under supply. So if you have that much, you should definitely be throwing down expansion. Like I said, you know, send a couple roaches and some Zerglings up here to take out these rocks. You pretty much should have constant production of your larvae. There's a bunch of larvae here. You know, that could be turning into Zerglings to give some melee support for those roaches. But I do like burrowing. I guess burrowing is what I want to say. Burrowing the your armed forces right here, right by the watchtower, leaving the Overseer there to see any burrowed units that come towards you.
Yep, and it does look like right now Smartin's producing some Hydralisks, as well as getting the range upgrade, the Groove Spines. And the Blue Cake is producing Hydralisks, well, not yet. He's producing the Missile Attacks level 2 to help his roaches. Sorry about that. And Tunneling Claws, like you noted for the burrowed roaches. Once that Tunneling Claws completes, they can move while burrowed, which could prove to be an advantage if Smartin does not have an Overseer out in the field.
And it does look like Smartin's about to move out. He does come back to take this watchtower. Blue Cake is hiding there and then pops out and tries to take them by surprise, but he is pretty badly outnumbered by these roaches right now, and luckily the Infestors were not able to. Well, there you see the fungal growth going down in the Overseer, but I think he's going to be able to survive. It's going to be pretty close, but he is able to get out of there with just 28 health.
Yep, and really right now I'd like to see a tech switch from either player. Well, they both could be expanding more, and Blue Cake does need to transfer some of his drones down to his expansion, because he only has 1 mineral patch left. But I'd really like to see either the Blue Cake or Smartin start to tech up to some Mutalisks to do some mineral line harassment. Especially with a minimal amount of Hydras on the field, Mutalisks can be very effective at this point in the game.
Yeah, one thing I do like that the Blue Cake is doing is now he's starting to spread the creep. He's getting those creep tumors out and you know, beginning to spread it. If you know, and he has all these roaches just sitting here at the front of his base. I think they'd be better served going up and taking out these rocks so he could throw down a gold expansion. You know, this expansion's fairly easy to defend. There's only this one choke up here, and if there's not any mutas on the map yet, which for the most part he's pretty sure there isn't. And now we finally do see the expansion going down at the 12 o'clock.